but I mean, Smarch Madness is where it's at.
If people want to get introduced to your podcast? What question are you asking?
Yeah, like what's my favorite episode of the podcast?
Yeah.
Smarch Madness is the way to go. It's where
what was the other one you said? I just started the recording again, so that didn't.
So the first
make it
one,
into the
if you want like actual good content, like where we're pretty much coherent and have the best opinions, is like the best of the decade episodes where we did like the best movies of top 10 movies of every year from 2010 to 2019. And then, but if like the actual best episodes are the March Madness episodes, which is March Madness style brackets, but exclusively based on the mascots of the school, and not like the suits, the fursuits of the school, not just what it is. And we just do the bracket breakdown based on the several criteria of Sexy March Madness. Correct, that is what it's called. Yeah. And yeah, so it's like how good the quality of the suit is, how much we want to bang it. And then, of course, like there's more in-depth things like no people, no non-animal related costs. Like those are all immediately eliminated. But that's a good one. There's an episode that's Oops All News. That one's not bad. That one's good. But yeah, I'd say Smarch Madness is the way to go. Last year's and this year's.
Have you ever worn a fursuit? Follow-up question, would you like to?
I think I've put Sans head on once.
I got it.
Yeah?
I think so.
Spam.
Would you bang it?
The suit?
No, San.
Oh.
It.
No. I had to nicely say to Scott the other day, like, let me preface.
No, I will not bang Sam.
Yeah.
Stop asking.
I said, let me preface this by saying I like sand. And he goes, okay. And then I go, I hate sand. That was the conversation.
Can't be fully reduced to some abstract system.
Thank you. The sub. Data stream. No. So you only get to skip the levels if you've like earned enough things by exploring around, which I have plenty, but I've never wanted to skip a level because like the whole point is that I'm playing a puzzle game. It's like I should probably figure it out. All right. It's very similar to the other one. There might be a twist.
Game Design 101. We'll copy and paste where you can.
Usually they do kind of a spin on something if it's like similar.
Scoot was one of the most unreasonably funny people that ever graced the interwebs.
It was unreasonable.
I will miss the endless wrestling references and Gale bullying. Hope you're well.
It's
Thank you.
funny because I am very much the Spenny in our Kenny versus Spenny relationship.
And if you weren't here, then I would be the Spenny, so...
It's true, I'm taking one for the team.
I'm David Wolfish. You owe me $5,000.
We used to constantly, Scott and I would reference the I think my brother broke my dick. Do you know that one? It's the episode where it's first person to get the boner loses, and Kenny gets his brother to inject him with those blockers in his balls. And so then Spenny walks in and Kenny is on the floor in a Speedo just like smashing his balls, and then Spenny can't believe that he's doing it, and then Spenny walks away and Kenny goes, I think my brother broke my dick. And And so Scott and I would do that a lot. We'd just sit there and all of a sudden just go, I think my brother broke my dick.
Scott loved incest jokes.
Now that he's gone, we can finally assemble a psychological sexual profile of
We
him.
can finally
based
figure
on our
this guy
collective
out.
knowledge.
Yeah.
What was his deal?
He liked incest. He liked
What was he
TF,
even doing?
God forbid you show him incest
like
TF.
children.
Scabs, little babies.
Yep.
Napple.
Apple apples.
I wonder if his. Oh man. I was like, I wonder if his FA's favorites are public.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna check.
See, that's one of, I think, one of the first times I kind of like, one of the ways I get to know whether or not I'll enjoy someone's company is like Tim and Eric and Kung Pao references. I'm like, yeah, it tickles you too. There's something about it. Just these like niche kind of anti-humor things.
yeah.
It's crazy how I can still make connections with some of these. What the fuck? Why is it still going there? It's not going to that one though. Oh, it is. Okay, we're so close.
Evening all, hope you're doing a bit better now. Drew, just wanted to say your Barbie review is the best on Letterboxd. 10 pence.
10 tenths.
Thank you.
10 out of tenths.
I did it in the theater before we left the theater.
What is your Barbie review?
I typed out the word feet in all caps and then copied and pasted it like 200 times.
Oh.
So it's just a running line of feet.
Too woke.
Just woke enough for me.
Come on. Oh. We're so close. We're so close.
Of all the messages that Barbie gave me, the only thing I took away from it is that I should be into Margot Robbie's feet. That's all I learned from that movie.
That's mostly what it was about, I think. I don't remember any other messaging, so
That only the male lead can get nominated for an Oscar. That's the other.
checks out.
Yep.
He did steal the show, though.
He did.
And also, like, fucking Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig won the box office.
Yeah.
Margot produced it. They were all nominated for producer roles, and so, like, it's not like they weren't nominated. Just people only pay attention to the acting ones, and they got pissed for no reason. Ken had the better song, also.
Yep. But they only care about who's popular. Like, who's the actual artist performing a song? Okay, you win.
I used to think I would ever hear good genuine edge humor until I started watching your channel. Scoot was
Edge
a massive
humor.
part of building my humor. Gonna miss him.
Yeah, he's one of few people that could get really edgy without going full Nazi. without going like full chud. Like, oh, you're still a decent human being. It was a tough tightrope.
Yeah, it was. That's tough. It's a lot of dodging lasers. I thought he could be like, he could have done comedy professionally if he wanted to.
There was a time where we talked about both doing stand-up,
Yeah.
and I think we wrote out a bunch of jokes, or we made he used to make audio clips on his phone, and then we would sort of like work stuff out. But as much as like we were talking before about him being bad at the border, he wasn't a great talking in front of
Like a stage presence.
like in front of strangers. Like
Oh yeah, I can
wrestling's
imagine.
different because you're like a character and
Yeah,
it's sort of
yeah.
like your natural habitat. But yeah, he definitely was like a little hesitant about being in front of strangers, and also because like I think
pressure.
with him is he's so used to killing it that when you go up in front of a new audience as like he knew he would bomb immediately because like that's
Yeah.
what all comedians
Yeah.
are, and I think he was kind of afraid of bombing. Even though like his stuff was funny, like I thought his stuff was funny, like we shared a lot of good like back and forth, but like I think
Yeah,
he
he could've
really
done
like
it.
didn't want to look not a
didn't
good
wanna look a
comedian
fool.
or like a fool. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a little self-conscious about some things.
Yep, he could be.
Um.
Yeah, I had a good cadence for it. I had a
Yeah.
good like natural comedic tone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he was hesitant about his stage presence, but I could see it. Like
Yeah.
you know, comedy is extremely difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's like harder than wrestling, I think.
Probably,
Like
but I don't know. I'm not a wrestler
That's-
or a comedian.
or a comedian.
So I don't have a
I
good.
like to wear a collar because it makes me feel more like myself, a dog.
Same.
And someone asked if I was wearing it for a fetish. Sag.
I mean, why not both?
yeah.
Fucking god, this one's tough. I'm pissed.
Yeah, like he was never nervous at all about having to like talk in front of the crowd or be in front of the crowd. Never once. But it's different. I don't know. It's hard to explain if you don't do wrestling.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's such a uniquely like weird niche thing, and like there's so many wrestlers that are also bad at talking in front of the crowd, but you just gotta like I think Scott always looked at it as like he could do no wrong, like no matter what he did or said he was gonna be fine, so it was just so natural for him to just start talking and throwing things out, and then yeah, like get him in front of an audience full of people. And did he ever tell you what he did for our friend Justin? He was the best man at our friend Justin's wedding, and what he did for his best man speech.
Did he?
I don't remember.
He recited the words of the theme song to the Golden Girls
Nice.
as his speech, but he did it like slowly
Yeah.
and like, you know, kind of took his time so that like
Oh
It
yeah,
didn't
he did tell
sound
me
like-
about that. Yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't like blatantly obvious. That's what
just
he was
only a
doing.
few people got it.
But as Dan and I got it, and we were dying on the side, like laughing so hard. And of course, our friend was marrying a Korean woman whose parents didn't really speak English, and neither did most of her family. So here's all these people that don't understand what Scott's saying, and two idiots off to the side losing their minds laughing at him saying that. It was pretty great memory.
That's wild. I love that.
Yeah. But like again, that's just the kind of humor he had, was like, I'm gonna go up there and do an entire speech where I just say the Golden Girls theme and see how much I can get people to laugh. And you're like, well, it worked.
I'm resetting everything because sometimes that helps. We're gonna go direct center for all of these, although there is no direct center for this one. There is for this. Oh! If I use the other existing connectors, instead of getting directly from this, I can have a weaker stream by doing it from here and then to here. Right? So something along those lines. So instead of going directly to the red here, yeah, okay. I want to go directly to blue to get the more powerful stream. And then instead of going directly to red, I'll do one connection. Yeah, kind of. And if, by the way, if you want me to change to a different game at any point, let me know. Because this is literally just me. I figured this game would be fine for us wanting to have conversations over and stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
this is the DLC. Yeah.
Oh, that's slippery. That's a slippery slope. Telling people they need to wear name tags. Next,
Yeah, what's next? Numbers?
numbers?
Maybe
A
tattoos?
certain colored shape on all of our clothing. That's a real risky move there.
Yeah. Oh, so close. So close.
Don't worry, I flooded Scott's bedroom so that all of his hard drives were destroyed in the flood. Don't worry.
With cum?
We had it with cum. We had a pact. It was taken care of.
I'm at work right now, but just wanted to pop in and say hi. Less than 3.
Thank you, Purple Fire. Yeah, it's kind of got me thinking about...
Deleting
I
your
don't
hard
know,
drives?
Sorry?
Oh, nothing.
You know, like if any one of us could just die at any moment.
I
Like,
know.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Eventually. We don't know when. And not to think of it in a totally morbid way, I guess. But I was thinking, like, you know, my parents should probably know, don't fucking bury me in Alberta. I will haunt your shit. I will haunt your shit. I don't care how convenient it is for you. Don't bury me in Alberta. Don't bury me in Alberta, even.
Yeah.
I escaped. I want to feel like I escaped, even if I'm dead. Don't bring me back there. Too much trauma.
Yeah, it kind of gets you thinking, like, you know, at what point
Oh.
do you start making a will of
Making arrangements. Yeah.
arrangements and stuff? Like,
I feel like
yeah.
I think a will is a
it.
sensible thing for any person to have.
yeah.
I have a will. It's very simple, but yeah, you can just go to your bank or whoever. You sign a piece of paper.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a reasonable thing. There's a lot of bad stories about people who don't have a will and then
yeah.
so
I
But
feel
yeah.
like I feel like my family wouldn't be greedy though.
it's not.
I feel like
it's just a way of exercising more control yourself. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with trusting your family or delegating. But there's an element or a degree of personal responsibility to it that I think is not mandatory, but
the will is about protecting your assets from the government. No, just go to your family. I don't think the government just gets all your shit.
No.
That's not how it
no,
works.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, you
It
don't
just
need a will
goes to your immediate family unless
Yeah.
there's something specifying.
But even
otherwise.
then, sometimes it takes a while, right? It's not
Yeah, you
like
can- yeah.
not like like I don't think your family cares about getting your assets immediately. Like it's a tragic thing, but like I think sometimes it can take like an extended period of time before anything like gets worked out, and you gotta like a lot of things you have to provide like death certificates and. But instead,
Yeah,
why
it's
not? Why not just
complicated.
immediately
And
go
then-
in and
and
say
then you-
everything goes to my family or my sisters or my whatever? Like
Yeah, and then strictly speaking, you also have business assets, right, with potentially mixed ownership. You know,
Hard
someone
drives
else is
upon
running
hard
your
drives upon
channels,
hard drives.
things like that. Especially if your parents
Yeah.
don't know how to access
all
that
my furry
stuff.
porn.
yeah, all the furry
I mean,
porn,
we've
all the
already-
PG furry porn.
We already have an arrangement.
I got a
so-
lot of PG furry porn.
Well, better make sure that somebody gets that. Yeah, it's
I
just,
leave all of my yiff to my dad.
I think I'd be comfortable.
He'll know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I started rewatching 6 Feet Under recently, and it really feels like the first media to kinda nail the realism of death and grief.
Gri-
We all die.
Grief.
Schenectady, New York.
Thanks.
We are gonna die.
Grife, way to go, chatbot. So that makes it more powerful. We got that amount. And if we... I'll bring that one further back. Yeah. And then... What the fuck?
This looks extremely complicated. Why don't you use your cheat?
Because I'm trying to figure it out by myself. You don't get it. Oh, that one's blocking it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go like this. No? Oh, I'm like always one away. Oh. Just one away, just one away. So I want to make the blue more powerful. I don't know if... I'm going to see what happens to the red if I get rid of that one connection. Okay, red's still good. I want to make the blue more powerful. Theoretically, maybe I can do that by enhancing it like this. Not quite. Fuck. Could I make...
The red weaker?
I could make the red weaker and then like maybe bring it right here.
Does anybody know if Scott was keeping notes for a sequel to his book Unpopular Opinion Fridays? Would love to read those if he was.
Here's a peek behind the candelabra. All of those Unpopular Opinion Fridays were just his tweets. So any sequel would be any tweet he made after whatever the last one in the book is.
I wonder if he has any scheduled tweets.
That's what I was wondering too. I feel like he
know.
would. I feel like he's the kind of person who would.
Very, very possible.
On like Hitler's birthday or something.
Well, it already passed. You will find out next April, correct?
I just remember to archive my Telegram conversation with him because that stuff
Same.
gets auto-deleted.
Yeah, I told everybody in my little group as well.
Any albums he loved? He liked that Sophie album a lot. The opening track, too. I don't know if he had a favorite album of all time, but he loved, like, kind of 90s, 2000s hip-hop R&B for sure.
Any records or artists that Scott loved? Any albums he loved?
I read that before the TTS said it, so it's the same one. The YouTube TTS is so slow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about albums. I mean, honestly, for being a man in his doxed 40s, he
40 is 40s.
he stayed pretty like up on like current like hip hop and stuff. So like he would go on like, you know, every like couple of months or probably every month and just go to like Billboard and stuff and listen to the things that were like the most like the highest rated songs for that month or whatever, and download them and make a playlist on his phone and then just listen to that. So he was like pretty up on most.
You're telling me he listened to top 40 music?
No, but like rap and hip hop stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing like, I mean, not mainstream like
He was a
pop.
big Swiftie.
He was a huge Swiftie.
Don't tell anyone.
Really respected her and her love of destroying the planet. But yeah.
You know what? I heard a really good argument from a Swiftie about that, where apparently she tried to take like a regular flight in an airport, and the airport was just fucked because all the Swifties are so crazy that like she couldn't get anywhere. And it's like, that's not a bad argument for if you're that level of fame to try and go in a regular airport. Like you'd need your own section of the airport or something,
Correct.
right? So that was an interesting argument that I heard from a Swiftie.
Yeah. Yeah,
It makes sense.
yeah,
They're not like us.
That
yeah.
song's pretty good.
We were
It's good.
big fans of Lil Peep. We
Oh,
listened
yeah?
to Lil Peep in the car a lot, but obviously his music stopped at a certain point. But yeah, like a lot of that, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap, like a lot of we listened to a lot of early 2000s Canadian pop music. Your Skies, your Soul Decisions, your Snow, but he's a rapper or like a, I don't know, reggae white reggae guy, I don't know, whatever.
Wegay.
White gay. And yeah, we listened to a lot of that
Renegade.
stuff.
So if I could just... It's always one away! It's always only one away! Motherfuck.
I actually really surprised he liked the song It's Okay to Cry by Sophie. For how edgy his humor was, Scoot really did love all.
He really had a soft spot to him. Like, all of his edgy humor and shit, it existed, but, like, there was that one clip of him just, like, talking about how cute some dumb little gay furry comic was. I forget, there's a clip of it. It was LW was there. It was during the Bully playthrough. And it was literally just, like, one of those dumb, like, I don't know, feel-good kind of cutesy comics where I
know the story.
I was kind of making fun of him, but he definitely had a soft spot, and he was really compassionate and cared
Yeah.
about his friends and everything. Arrgh. Fucking piss. Okay, so that is more powerful. Confirmed more powerful. Not going directly to the source. Or sorry, going directly to the source is more powerful.
Oh yeah,
Confirmed.
I remember that comic now, Raccoons.
That goes directly to the source. That's more powerful. This goes directly to the source. That's more powerful. These already satisfy this. No need to change that. But this, if I did this, yeah, so close again. And then I just moved this here. Is this gonna do it? Oh, so close. All right, we got those. Now I need to make this somehow less powerful, but then one of them needs to be connected to there. So could I do this? Yeah, I can. And then I can... The blue ones... Okay, I think I got it. Hold on. Like that. Oh. Don't block me. Yeah, almost there. Now we just need to connect... How do I... Damn it. Then they're Blah! I had an idea, but it would involve crossing streams in a way that's not possible.
You're not supposed to cross the streams.
Mm-mm.
So one of these reds has to be direct, for sure. This one can be there, and that satisfies that. This one, we got the one direct red.
Good night, Django.
I don't think the blues need to be connected. I think the reds need to be connected. Yeah, and now all I have to do is satisfy the blue at the end. I think I've got it. Just gotta find the right spot, and then I think I've got it. That's not it. I think I got it. Yes! It took so long. I figured it out. Sorry that took so long.
Well, yeah, you did
I
it.
have a lot of
Friction in
patience
our
for these types of
interactions is
games.
impossible was a hard lesson for me to learn. For the longest time, I always thought the answer was right around the corner.
It's satisfying.
And to
To
be
me.
fair, we did learn how to live together without constantly running into problems. But gradually, I realized that the friction would never stop. Because what makes us unique also makes us different. There can be no endpoint to love, no final resolution. And it's because of that imperfection that it can go on forever.
A snake.
And which god is that?
The Vor type god.
Oh. I hope somebody gets the reference, because that's a reference we made a lot on the podcast, but somebody said god or whatever Lovecraftian being. And which god is that? Starts with an A, and we're not allowed to draw him. That's the one.
That's not.
Oh, that's the Prophet Muhammad.
You really caught yourself before I could.
Yeah.
Did Oh man. I've been getting into Islam.
I know.
I got to show Scoot one of my favorite sheikhs. It was basically a religious, like an imam, like a religious, not scholar, fancies himself a scholar, more of a advisor, cleric type.
Crook.
Yeah, cleric, that's what I said.
Oh shit, those need to be connected too.
And yeah, there are a lot of loopholes to get into heaven.
Oh.
Well, maybe, you wouldn't think of them as loopholes, but yeah, no, Islam is fascinating.
Are they as cool as the Christian loophole?
Which Christian loophole?
That you can have anal sex before marriage and it's fine?
I don't know.
That's
that one.
what kids tell themselves
how does
that in
that work?
Florida.
I don't know.
And in Utah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a well-known.
That's just what like American
Oh, I
Christian
see, I
teenagers
see.
and like young people have said
Because
that
you're
like
not
They've decided
impregnating.
that there's loopholes, which is
Yeah.
fun.
I think it's technically sodomy, but
I like the idea that you can trick God.
yep.
it's
Like-
not. It's even worse than that. It's not that you can trick God. It's that God knows that you're pulling a little.
But he's
trick,
like, well,
but he encourages
I
it.
guess
He's
I
like,
didn't
"Yes, good."
technically say that, so you got this
He's
one.
a rules lawyer. He's like he's like, well, that's what the rules say, and you interpreted the rules.
You
correctly.
interpret the rules.
Yeah, we might
Or
have
also
more.
soaking is also a good one. Yes.
What's soaking?
It's a
Oh.
Mormon thing
Yeah,
where
please do tell.
you lay in a bed and you penetrate, but you don't hump.
Okay.
And then your friends will get on the bed and jump around
Because you're
on
not the one
bed
doing the motion,
yeah,
so it's
to
fine.
create the friction, but you're not doing it. It's a real I slipped and fell into her vagina, and my friends just
I'm gonna
happened
miss
to
him,
be
but
on the...
At least he lived long enough to see Henry
I would love.
Kissinger
I would
die.
go to a soaking ceremony.
Yeah. I'd help some people soak.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's really no different than
You'd
like
soak me, bro?
like a kink party or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
the shit that Christians do is just so much more degenerate.
I kind of believe that.
Like, it really is. Like, the whole idea of chastity and everything. It was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
chastity-
is just fetish with extra steps.
It really kind of is.
Yep.
Oh, I'm saving myself for marriage. That's a kink. Sorry.
That is a kink.
That's a disgusting kink. I'm gonna come so hard because it was God wanted me to do it this way. Like, okay.
Not a big chastity guy, Adam.
Under the right circumstances.
All right. In Islam, fornication, God will transform into chastity. You just have to ask Allah for forgiveness and, accept his, accept the Prophet.
I like the people that think masturbation is wrong without acknowledging the fact that like you come in your sleep if you don't jack off.
Do you?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what if you like?
Wet
What
dreams.
if you like wore a cage?
No, you'd still come.
What if you did the thing that Kenny
It
did?
doesn't even matter if you have a boner or not. You'll ejaculate.
Yeah,
Where
if
you,
you
where
put
you,
the
every time you
blockers-
go to sleep, you inject some
Inject
blockers,
blockers into your
every
groin.
single night. Then you wear a cage just for good measure.
What
Yep.
kind of blockers? Puberty blockers?
Whatever they are.
Can we get Christians on board with puberty blockers by saying it's for chastity?
I'm sure you can get medicine that makes your dick not work.
Probably.
I know of
Here's the
drugs
thing.
that do that.
Ejaculation doesn't require a boner.
And then what?
And when you have a wet dream, it's not because you were so horny. It's just because that
Soaking
it just
is
needs to come out at some
sitting there
point.
Without movie, jump
Yeah,
humping
I don't
is
know.
soaking
I
while
wanna
your
see
friend
what
jumps
happens.
on the bed.
Now I'm
Big
just
cat
medically
would have known
curious.
SMH.
Is it like holding your breath where you pass out? I don't know that you pass out. I just read that you can pass out from holding your breath.
Oh, yeah.
I want to watch Skyall 2024. Man, Kenny and Spinny should have. They must have done that, right? Who can hold their breath the longest? There's no way they haven't done that.
I don't think they did breath.
Okay, S'mores 56 said
okay,
soaking
okay,
is just
okay.
sitting there without movie. They meant to say moving.
Yeah.
Jump humping is soaking while your friend jumps on the bed.
Oh, so what is soaking?
Big cat would have known. Soaking is without the jumping.
It's
I
just the
guess.
penetration and then nobody moves.
But it's like to get inside, you have to do emotion, which is like it just kind of defeats the argument.
Does it count if your dick's doing emotion? Like if you're it's just, I
Like
don't know,
it's-
this
if
is
you're
definitely
flexing-
TOS, I
If you're
can't-
flexing, if you're kegling,
Maybe. Back to the name Muhammad.
Yeah.
Do
Most
you-
common name in the world, by the way.
It is, and I'll tell you how a very funny story about it being the most common name in the world.
Please.
Do you guys remember before when Cineplex used to do the game at the beginning of the thing? Did
Yes,
Scott
I
ever
do.
tell you that story?
I think I started
you-
Scott doing that.
Oh, you did.
I think
Because
I
of
think I
his-
was the first
because
one
of
that
his
did it.
username, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Tell us about his username.
So we would go to
Oh my
movies, right?
God.
There was 5 of us that would go
Yep.
to movies. We would all play the game. What was it called?
Oh man.
The pre-show,
Yeah.
time play.
Time play.
Wow, nice.
So we would all play the time play, and we all had just like our names, right? Because all
Yeah.
of our names are very common, so they were all in the system. But then one day, Scott came, and we were playing, and he had changed his name to Muhammad.
That was my fault.
So there you go. And he convinced the other 4 of us to go into the app and change our name to Muhammad, and then sat there and gave each other all of the answers. So when the leaderboard at the end came
that
up,
was the
it
goal.
was Muhammad, Muhammad, and Scott like popped up out of his seat and started like fist pumping the air, screaming, "Yes, I did it!" And like he was the happiest man in the world. And like all 5 of us did it. And then
My God.
the next time we did it, one of the 5 of us failed and got like 6th or 7th. And Scott popped up and then turned to Dan and yelled at Dan that he fucked up the game. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I got the question wrong."
So basically, what started that for me was like I would have picked Jesus, but it didn't let me, and so I was like, okay, what other religious thing? Muhammad. Okay, because it's pre-selected names.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just let you type your own because that would be they had some fail safes, I guess, but they just didn't think all the way through with some things. And I thought it was really funny, and then I realized like, oh, okay, it's just also a very common name, and I was like, okay, whatever. Eventually, so I was going through my phone reels because Google does this neat little thing where you can just show a face and be like, I want all my photos and videos with this face in it. And so I was going through like old videos of Scott after, last week, and sending some clips to his sister and stuff. And one of the reels was we found out there was a short window of time where, and again, these are pre-selected names,
Yep.
and our entire goal was to just pick the most offensive thing that we could find, and it was Cineplex's fault for letting us pick the name.
Correct.
I don't know how this happened. There might have been some goofball that worked at Cineplex. One of the names that we could pick, I'm just going to spell it, was Nigloid. And I'm like, that's not a real name.
What the fuck?
And that was in my camera roll
That's insane.
of Scott winning as that name. And he was like, yes. And I don't, you can't blame us. Like, it's, if you put that there, and this was years ago. This was years ago too.
Wow.
We've matured a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I don't know why that was a pre-selected name. That's
weird.
on Cineplex, not us.
That is on Cineplex. They also had like Merlin was a name, and like some like really random like nobody's kid is named that. Where you're like, but yeah, and there was like 5 or 6 different spellings of Muhammad,
Yep.
and they were all in there, every
M-O-M-U.
single one of them.
A-D-E-D.
Yep.
What's your favorite verse from the Quran, Kyle?
Women shouldn't drive.
That's my favorite.
Well, I think Al-Fatiha is just a good. It's the opener. It's how the Quran starts. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi alim al-alimin, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the most. I think it's the most popular. And it's just that it's a banger of an opening, and because like it's on flags. You have to incant it or chant it. I'm not sure what it was called. The specific kind of phonetic way you're supposed to recite it. Yeah, no, it's good. Great text. Quran.com, I think you can go to there and get different readings. Al-Fatiha is just Al-Fatiha, sorry, is just the beginning.
Do I remember my favorite Bible verse? Is it Ezekiel 23:12? Did I get it right? Let's see. Oh, yeah, I got it right.
Well,
Hold on. Oh, it's
Oh,
close. It's something about a
I think
horse
I know
cum.
yeah.
Is it 25? No, wait, which one is it?
25:12?
What's the horse? Is it 23:20? Okay, here we go. I was so close. Yeah, she lusted for the lechers. This is one of the translations
Sure.
of Egypt, whose members are like those of donkeys, whose thrusts were like those of stallions.
Wow.
There's another translation here. She lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of horses. Ezekiel 23:20.
And this is why it's okay to sing about horsecock.
Exactly.
Because
God
the
said
Bible
it was
does it.
cool.
So I have a question.
He said it was based. What?
When you say my favorite verse of the Bible, right?
The only Bible. It was written in English.
I was actually going to ask you about that because do you consider the Old Testament to be part of the Bible if you're a Christian? I know you're not a Christian, but like you had a Christian
I'm a
education.
Christian.
You had a Christian education. So because to me the Old Testament
It's kind of fucked
is
up.
kind of a Jewish text, really, more than it is a Christian text. Like way more than like you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird to me to hear Christians refer to like the whole thing.
Doesn't
like,
the Quran just have like one more?
what do you mean?
Isn't like the Quran just like you add on top of it?
No, but like no, the Quran doesn't contain
No.
the Old or the New Testament. It's its own thing.
But you believe in the same God. It's Yahweh.
It's the God of Abraham, the God that Abraham.
Do you believe in?
prophesied.
Do Muslims believe in Jesus Christ?
They believe that he existed and that he was an Islamic prophet.
But just Muhammad was more based.
Yeah, Muhammad was more based. Actually, so Jesus' name in Islam is Isa. That is his Islamic prophet name. So he was respected. So was Adam, actually. The first human.
Yeah, damn right.
The first human alive is considered the first Islamic prophet. All of them are just really lining up to give Muhammad the revelation that he would eventually receive from the Archangel Gabriel. Really nice of them, honestly. But yeah, I'm curious about this Old Testament shit because I feel like if I was a Christian, I feel like I would be like a New Testament only. I'd be like that old stuff. It's old for a reason, right?
I mean, that's what a lot of modern Christians do, but it really depends on who you are. Like if you're Charlie Kirk, you're gonna take a lot from the Old Testament, being like, gay people are
But
bad because
why?
this.
It's not their book.
Because you get to pick and choose.
It's not
'Cause
their
that's the
book.
whole-
That's I don't know. It's just like
You can pick and choose to fit whatever your beliefs are, and that's how religious people work. Is you pretend like you have like the ultimate end game to the argument by like, it was in the Bible. When in reality, it's like, okay, well, you can justify literally any belief.
Any Gospel of Thomas enjoyers? It's just like, I don't know. The Bible seems like such a terrible book, not because it's a bad book, which it is, but just because like everything about the way it came together makes no sense. But we're not here to rehash that old chestnut.
So the only way to get blue is to go through the center. Red,
Judas had a gospel, right? I think he did, Sonics. So I don't even think that's a
I gotta
joke.
use these top things to get either red across here and then green somewhere else. But how do I... I can't completely disregard green.
Yeah, Louis had a good bit on the fig tree. I remember that one.
Red's coming from there. I have to go across for sure. Now green is blocking there. I go like that. Then I can block this right here. Red is almost going there. And go like this. Red is there, green is there, now I just need blue, and that's it. Oh boy!
You did it.
I get it eventually.
There's a pattern that I noticed in all the ancient poetry that I read.
It's
Young
gay.
poets would praise love as the only true meaning of life. Middle-aged poets would often disagree. They would argue that love is messy, ugly, selfish, and hard to distinguish from lust.
I
They would
mean-
mock their younger selves for thinking love so incredibly important, and look for answers elsewhere or reject answers altogether. And then, arriving at old age, they would return to the beginning and realize it was all about love after all.
What was I'm trying to remember what movie there was we watched where it was like a science movie, and then like the shtick at the end was that love was the combining principle.
Interstellar?
Was that it? It's kind of like
That's one of them.
it's pretty lame.
They're like, love saves us
it
all.
transcends whatever, like the
Space and
universe.
time.
Yeah, that's it. Roughly.
Yeah. That's my issue with Interstellar. It was like, otherwise it's good.